Chery entered the UK market last August, but last month its brands accounted for around 8% of new car registrations, and it's now added a fifth brand to its UK portfolio, Lepus, designed specifically for European markets. Chery is also investing heavily in AI and robotics. Its robotics division, AI Moga, is reportedly preparing for an IPO. Incubated by Chery in January 2025, AI Moga says it's delivered more than 3,000 robots worldwide, including 2,000 overseas, and now operates in more than 60 countries and regions. It's targeting 10,000 robot deliveries around the world by 2027. Well, let's talk to David Bailey, who's a professor of business economics at Birmingham Business School. Great to see you there. Now, look, Chery's moved quickly in the UK. Is this R&D centre a sign it now sees the UK as a base of growth rather than just simply a market to sell into?
Yes, I think that's absolutely right. I think it's quite a strategic shift. So it's done very well in selling into the UK, probably the most rapid penetration of any car maker into the UK market in its history. But I think what they're doing here is really thinking, well, OK, let's try and position the UK within our global innovation network. So instead of just selling cars into the UK, let's look to try and develop cars in the UK for the British and hopefully the European market as well. So it's about really kind of developing cars for the European market, I think.
But why the UK, though? I mean, what does Chery gain from testing vehicles here that it wouldn't get elsewhere in Europe?
Well, I think the UK offers quite a favourable package. We've got excellent engineering talent. I mean, OK, we don't make as many cars as we used to, but the depth of the engineering talent pool is great. Some really good testing facilities, particularly at Millbrook. Very sophisticated consumers, and also the vagaries of British roads and weather offer quite a challenge for them in developing vehicles. So I think actually that all together is an attractive package for Chery in coming to the UK to try and develop cars here. You know, and that's difficult to replicate, I think, in other countries. Now,
Chery's moving beyond autos into AI, into robotics. Is that a natural step for a company like them, or is it a much bigger bet on the mobility industry and where that's heading?
I think it's a combination. I think you're absolutely right. If you think about the modern electric car, it's connected, it's semi-autonomous. AI is naturally increasingly part of the package. So increasingly car firms are thinking about the car as an intelligent machine, and they're thinking about broader mobility services. So I think that's the direction of travel that we're seeing. And I think it's inevitable that companies like Chery think beyond just making cars to actually mobility solutions and broader robotics. We're seeing that also, for example, from the likes of Tesla.
But how seriously should we take those technology ambitions, those wider technology ambitions, though? You know, could AI and robotics become a meaningful part of the business rather than just an extension of the car-making operation?
I certainly take their ambition very, very seriously, and they're clearly putting considerable resources into that. But let's remember that that's not the same thing as actually being able to scale it up. So if we think about AI and robotics, that's a highly contested market. Many, many well-resourced companies in it, and the key test for Chery will be whether they can actually come up with solutions that consumers want and also are able to scale it up. But I think what's sort of overall fascinating about this is Chery, as a Chinese company, just sort of really shifting away from just making cars into kind of broader, intelligent mobility solutions. And that's the kind of transition, I think, that's taking place in the industry in China.
David Bailey, thank you very much.